are go for liftoff in T minus 30.
Hit the record button.
Gosh, that's swell.
Hello.
Hi.
Hello. Hi. I was hoping you'd say hello.
Vic, hello. I've been
Hi.
waiting. The music was going, it's getting down, getting funky.
Yeah.
How are you?
I'm great. Actually, I was looking forward to it too. I'm like, oh my God. As I was watching the movie, and for those that are listening, yes, this is Italo's Blog Talk Radio. I know. I haven't introduced myself, and I haven't introduced my guest, who is Patricia Mizen, or Mizen.
Hello.
Sorry.
Hello, listeners.
Hello.
Hello. Thank you, Victor, for inviting me on your show. I'm so excited.
Yes, and the reason we're excited, I think, well, I'm excited for talking to you, but I'm also excited because I was watching this movie who had, praise and had so many critical acclaim and all the nonsense, right? That goes on, and you're like, okay, this is too much hype, Usually I don't go for the hype. And so I'm like, okay, let me watch it because you said it was great. So I'm like, well, if Patricia likes it, let me watch it, And so I started watching, and I'm like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God.
I know,
and oh my
right?
God.
Okay.
I was like,
Let me
I did not see that coming.
share something? I'm so glad that,
Sure.
first of all, you decided to watch it. I love Netflix. That's my go-to. And I wanted to watch a good movie. When you're at home and you're kind of like by yourself and you're like, I want to watch a good movie. And
Right.
I'm scrolling and I see The Marriage Story. Now, granted, I didn't know anything about The Marriage Story prior to me clicking on to The Marriage Story. I saw Scarlett Johansson, and usually she's in action-packed films or comedies, you know what I mean, like dramedies. So I was like, let me check this out.
Yes. I mean,
Yes and
before
no?
Black Widow, before Black Widow, she was in Woody Allen movies.
Yeah, that's true. But I haven't seen her like in a real drama in quite a while. And I wanted to, and as an actor, I love watching other actors, and I'll just watch and try to learn. And I look kind of like objectively as like a, that's our job as actors. So I said, let me watch it. And oh my gosh, I was, she took my breath away.
I was
Her
floored.
emotional. Yeah, I'm telling you, I could not take my eyes off of her. Literally. And then Adam Driver, like wow, that fight scene.
Yes.
When
oh
he
my gosh.
the wall.
So before we go into that.
Yeah.
So let me just explain to the listeners who have not seen the movie yet. This will be a great time to stop this YouTube video because we're gonna spoil it for you. Anyways, spoilers are ensuing right now as we speak. So go ahead. Yeah, what was your impression of the performance of the fight? Let's talk about the fight because the fight. I'm gonna talk about the fight.
Gosh, and it's okay to talk about it and spoil some things for everybody listeners.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Well,
okay.
I warned them all. Yeah.
Okay.
So go ahead.
Well, my gosh. Okay, marriage, first of all. Marriage is I'm married, by the way. So I mean, this is probably the most truest movies I've seen that deals with marriage and the truth and rawness of it, and the lack of communication sometimes that couples may have. there's a lot of underneath stuff going on between the two characters that become revealed, but the fight scene, so, wow. Now, this fight scene blew up to the point where he wished something that, oh my gosh, I would never, ever, ever say in my life to anyone. And I don't think anyone. I mean, he was so angry. And I want to know, was that in the script, do you think, or was that something that he said out of?
No, okay, so this is one of those movies, right, that I was trying to see, okay, was this improvised? But I'm like, no, this is very well scripted. Very well worked out. They had I could tell that they workshopped this scene. This is apparently one of those things where you're like, okay, we're going to audition Scarlett Johansson and Adam Driver. This is the scene that you're going to be, what do you call it when you audition, right? So you have the audition. Yeah. Okay, this is the audition. This is the scene for the audition to me. Right. And so when I saw it and I had to stop it. I had to stop it because I was getting angry and I was getting emotional.
You were affected. Great.
Yeah, I had to stop. I'm like, stop. Wow.
I cried. I know.
Wow. I'm like.
Yeah. You know what is? Yes, I'm telling you, it's brilliant. These actors really are brilliant and are so well deserving of the Oscar. Seriously, because they brought out a lot of pain that we as humans can relate to that we don't show. And you know what? The writer was Noah. What was his name? Noah Baumbach. I can't pronounce his last name.
Or Baumbach. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Director as well. My gosh. But
I don't know
he
what
was
else.
so angry.
What else did he direct? Let me just check it out here. Oh,
I'm sorry?
did this Quit in the Well. No, I was just looking at his the director's previous credit. So, anyways, I like to see what other movies he's done.
Yeah,
and this is the one that the only one I've seen. But yeah.
Yeah, but at any rate, this fight scene, as an actor, this is like juicy stuff that most actors, 99.9% dramatic actors would love to do because we want to get in it and we want to get messy and we want to get angry and sometimes in scenes we can't. We have to restrain ourselves. You know what I mean? But for this particular movie and this particular scene, I believe the director was like, just go all out, and they did because they had to. And boy, was it painful, and it was brilliantly done, and oh gosh, I cried, and it moved me. Scarlett Johansson, the way her pain, and you can tell that these characters developed they developed these characters so well that they knew everything about everything of each other and the relationship, and everything affected them. And as actors, like, that is our job. One of my favorite scenes in the movie is when it's actually like towards the beginning, when Scarlett Johansson, she's just listening to him talking, and she's kind of got this little grin going on, and she's agreeing, and all of a sudden she turns around and boom, her becomes down, and she she had me sucked. I was like, oh my gosh, because I've been there. Right. I know that pain.
Well,
and I'm telling you.
And then for those that have seen it, because I have seen it, I know what you're talking about. So the scene is that they are basically, the movie starts right off the top. They're getting a divorce, they're getting a separation, and she's moving back to LA, where she's from, right? And so and I remember this is a scene right after the show where she's the star of the show because he wrote the show, whatever, and he's criticizing her performance, right? Even though he said, no, I don't want to do it right now, but let's just do it. But she's like, yeah, let's just get over, let's just get it done. She kind of like was expecting him not to do it, I think.
Right.
And he's like, well, okay, you asked for it, so here it goes, right? And so when she heard him her criticism of her performance, and at that point where he says there was no emotion, you were trying too hard at the end to get the emotion, and you couldn't get the emotion out in this scene. And she was like, yeah, well, I wasn't feeling it. But then she turns around and goes to the bedroom and she starts bawling.
Yeah.
So
yeah, and everything starts
wow,
revealing. Yeah. And that was just the beginning of the story. And it sucks you in because you want to know what is going on in this marriage. It's just got so many layers.
Right.
And it starts revealing itself. And she was living her life. That whole scene, there's another scene I have to say, when she's talking to Dern. Dern, the supporting actress, Miss Dern. What's her first name? I want to say Karen, but it's not. Let me look it up really quick.
I'm sorry.
Connection. Are you there?
Yeah, it's just
Victor!
My earbuds weren't boop, 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 boop. Anyways, I'm switching back to... Go ahead.
Okay,
sorry.
let me know when I have you.
No, I got it.
That
I'm on speaker.
Okay.
Laura Dern.
Laura. There she is. Okay, she did an outstanding job as well. So there's a scene where, and that Laura Dern, right?
Right.
She is representing or wants to represent Scarlett Johansson, as her lawyer. Now, this remarkable scene, I watched it twice. I had to watch it twice because Scarlett, when you watch it, there are no cuts. It ran. It's like a 2-minute continual scene that the director allowed to play out. The camera followed her in the bathroom while Scarlett talked. She comes back out. She's still sharing her story. This is when she reveals everything about herself to Laura. And then she's, it did not cut. There were no cuts. And you are living Scarlett's life through her story, and you're visualizing, and she tells it so well, and she lives it so well that it wasn't acting. She became the character totally, 100%. And I just was so fascinated by her work, and I was like, oh my God, let me watch this again. And so and then I noticed that the director did it in one continual take, and then it was on Laura, the turnaround and the hug, and I was just brilliant. It was brilliant. I wonder how many takes they did.
Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah, I wonder how many takes, but that would be something I would ask if I go,
Yeah, and I know that you're coming from a filmmaker point of view, right? Because you are a filmmaker,
director, and actor. Yes.
Yeah. Anyways, my take on that scene in particular, and I watched it twice too because I watched it in the morning. Anyways, I watched it twice, the whole movie, because that scene was interesting. Because you would think that Laura Dern was genuine about her hug and her, being, what do you call it, empathetic, right? But what she was doing, she was analyzing the whole thing in her head,
Mhm.
and
Mhm.
she was like, "I got this case. This is my case." She was putting basically her chess pieces in her head, and she was at that point she knew she will win
Mhm.
the case, right? So
Yeah.
that's when
Mhm.
she hugged her and she let her cry and she let her have her moment, not because she was empathetic so much. I think she was very
Mhm.
cold. She's such a bitch when she had to be a bitch, and she was so nice when
Right.
she had to be nice. And it was like, oh, Laura Dern, I love you, but right now I don't love you. You're being so manipulative.
Right.
But at the same
Exactly.
time, what's her name? Scarlett. She was clueless that
Yeah, I
she had
know.
been
She was.
abused. Yeah.
Mhm.
So I was like,
Mhm.
I feel for Scarlett, but at the same
Mhm.
time, I see what Laura was doing. I'm like, oh,
Yeah. She
Laura is
was.
just see money sign all over her. You know what I mean? I don't know if it
Mhm.
makes sense. Their intentions
Yeah.
were different. You know.
Winning.
Yes,
Yeah, winning her
winning.
case. Yeah, which is the
Right.
lawyer's mind, you know.
Yeah, that's all they
but
think about. Is like, I will win this case, and now I know how. You told me about your wanting to move to LA,
Mhm.
and your husband never wanted to move back to LA. He moved to
Yep.
Europe somewhere. I forget what part of Europe, but he couldn't see himself in Los Angeles for some reason. But when it was convenient for him, it was a decision that we made. But when they talked about LA, which is her passion was to go back to LA, oh yeah, we just discussed it and it wasn't decided. It was just, you know what I mean? Like he was very
Yeah.
manipulative.
Right. And so the story is quite interesting and so real and honest and easy to relate to because, a man and a woman, even though they're married, it doesn't mean either one of you has to lose your identity. You know, it doesn't mean
Right.
one has to give up your dream. And that was what this story was about. It became that. It became his life and his journey and his dreams, and hers were pushed back. She had a child, she had a baby, you know what I mean? But still, um, she was still having that passion, and boom, the opportunity came, the pilot came, and she got it. Do you know what I mean? And it came back
Yeah.
to her, and so, but he was really mean because see what happens in a relationship too is jealousy, especially if two people are in the same career field. Thank God mine's not. He is not in the
Hmm.
industry at all.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, like, um, yeah, it hit on, the whole thing about he became, jealous also, and he also cheated on her. I'm really telling the story, like, because she had resented him, a lot of resentment, and that resentment you felt, and I think that's where a lot of her pain came from. And then he revealed in the argument that he was miserable too, and that he wanted out, and he didn't want. I mean, he said so many mean things I couldn't even believe in the script. I was like,
Right.
wow, dude,
Right.
you can't take those words back, and that's the whole
Right.
thing too. Boom, it's final. But you
Right.
know what?
But
I do
and
have
that's
to
another
say.
thing. An
Hmm.
interesting thing is that so you say it is to the person you're supposed to be loving and you're supposed to be partners for life and you're supposed to be friends with, right? Now, those things that he said, especially him, you can never say that to a friend, a confidant,
Mhm.
for life,
Mhm.
and you don't wish her dead, like, I mean, like, but
Yeah.
anyways, those things that you said, like you said, you cannot take them back. Now, when you hear when they are on the courtroom, or because it came to that point where they had to go to the court, and they heard the lawyers speak out different things that they had said to them in private. That, of course, not private when you talk to a lawyer. And they said those things out loud. I think that's when they realized, it's like, oh, my God, I can't believe you just told the lawyer about that thing I told you. Secrecy. And they both did it, though. So it's like, oh, my God.
I mean,
comfortable.
Like, honestly, and you know what? I believe divorce, because I know a couple of friends that are going through divorce, and I think, or have been divorced, I think that divorce can bring out the worst in each other, in you as a person. I think that it is probably, it's like death. You know, a lot of people say it's like death. But it can be ugly, and it can be mean and hateful, and it shows it. You know?
Yeah.
It shows it. However, at the end, through all of that stuff, they both got what they wanted. He ended up moving from New York to LA to be. Well, not 100% true. I mean, true, but he did get closer to his son, so he could share, because they were going to be fighting over custody rights, remember? And all that.
55,
they were going to go like
55-45, because she says, okay, that was the funniest thing to me when Laura says at the end, you got 55% of the custody. She's like, what do you mean 55? It's not 50-50? She's like, no, you get 55. He gets 45. I was like, really? You have to do that?
Oh yeah, she always had to have the upper hand,
Yeah.
But
anyway, your point was.
My point was, through all of that hatred that came out because of anger and stuff that had been bottled in for years, which, that's what marriage counseling is for, which was never, ever, ever even talked about in the movie, which is quite interesting. However, at the end, you could still feel the love between these two people that they once shared. You could still, I think, when she tied his shoe, but wait, you know what I mean? Like, she knew what to order for him, like, of course, but it was, you could still feel love from both of them, and then it ended in a good note, like, you know what? It's okay. Like, they're going to be okay, and they're going to make it work for their child. And I think a lot of people who are divorced, that's what they do, They put everything aside, and they just, it's for the child, it's for the children. But
I think he had to go through what he had to go through to realize that he had to compromise. He never wanted to compromise, ever. And so I think the point of the story, I think at the end is like, dude, both of you have to compromise. She compromised a lot. She gave a lot for you, and she gave up her career for you. And I mean, not career entirely, because she still was acting, right? But she was in theater, and she wanted to be in film. And so I mean, you know this.
Yeah.
And so she compromised way more than he had to compromise. And so the point is, at the end, I think he realizes, like, okay, you know what? I will move to LA, even though I don't want to. This is I can lose my family altogether, or I can move back to LA, compromise a little bit. He still got his theater in LA, which is, LA has theater. And so he did have to go through that to realize, it's like, wait a minute, I don't have to put myself first all the time, do I?
Right.
So
and
that's what happened.
You know what I agree, and you know what I love about this story is that these two different characters, they did a transformation. She was weak and verbally
At the
abused
beginning.
by him, actually. He is a narcissist. He was a narcissist, in the beginning. And it caused a lot of resentment for her. And she never truly spoke up about her feelings towards LA and stuff like that. She was very submissive. But throughout her journey in this story, she became stronger. And you could see the strength, right? You could see her changing and getting stronger, making decisions, and and for women, it was very empowering to see that, because she forgot about herself. She didn't know who she was. And then she got herself back. And that was her strength in the end. And she put a hell of a fight. And then for him, he was a narcissist. Oh my gosh, it was all about him, right? He's a big hotshot director and this and that and the other, and it was all about him. And he changed.
Yeah, I mean, he took all the credit, whenever the show was in Broadway or whatever. It was his victory. His play. He wrote it and directed it and whatever. And even though she was the star of it, it wasn't really for. Right, it was for him all the time. It was for him. And
he didn't
I mean,
appreciate her. Yeah, he didn't appreciate. Yeah. Oh, tell me how you liked the scene when he's sitting with his son reading the letter.
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
I did. That's when I realized it's like he got it.
Mm-hmm.
No, he's not going to change. He's not going to be a narcissist, He's not going to be like, all of a sudden, I'm not a narcissist no more, and I have empathy and whatever. He was realizing for the first time how his wife viewed him.
Yeah.
He viewed him, sorry about that. He viewed him, even though you're going through the process of separating, right? She could have been nasty in the letter. She could have cussed him out. She could have said so many hurtful things. She could have been just coming from a place of anger, but she came from a place of love.
Exactly.
And he did not expect that. He was like, "Oh, this is the letter," that she never read the letter in therapy, and there it is. And the son was reading it too, and that was interesting. I'm like, so the first thing you started reading happened to be that letter. Interesting.
Yeah, I was like, where is this letter coming from?
Right, like those are big words.
And then he tried to make her out to be an alcoholic. Like how low was that?
Come on.
He was reaching for something because he wanted custody and all this crap. But I loved his performance.
That's what I'm saying. Sorry.
Honestly, I loved his performance. The truth, both of these characters, all of them. Ray Liotta as well is in there. He did an outstanding job as a lawyer,
and the mother
too.
The mother.
Oh my God, I love her. Oh my God,
I love her too. I'm like, from Victoria.
Yeah, you see her in a lot of movies. Actually, I love her. She was so hilarious. She was like my little comic relief. Here, I'm going to pull it up here.
Here's the thing that I initially thought, right? I initially thought, I'm like, this movie was going weird at the beginning because of the whole serving of the paper scene. The sister didn't want to do it and all that.
Yeah.
Now the mother, upon seeing the son-in-law, I was like, what's going on with the mother and the son-in-law? That was just odd.
Oh, right. Yeah, she had a crush on
like,
him, the mother.
Yeah.
And she totally had a crush on him,
Yes.
and okay, so her name's Julie Haggerty. Julie Haggerty.
Oh, okay.
She's been in a lot of movies and shows. She's been around for many, many years. She was on Grace and Frankie and let me see. Confessions of a Shopaholic.
You know what? I'm confusing her with somebody else. Okay.
She has a very distinct voice.
Oh, she was an Airplane. Okay.
Airplane, yeah. There you go. Her breakout role.
Okay. Because I thought, for some reason, I was confusing her with the other actress from Victor Victoria, but this is not her. Anyhow, yeah, she did a great job.
She was.
I was like, finding it very uncomfortable at the beginning, but then when she helped him get this one lawyer, I was like, well,
yeah.
Yeah. But
what do you
that's
think
wrong.
About Ray Liotta?
Like, Ray Liotta was just he was a perfect lawyer.
Yeah.
Yeah. Was. Yeah, and just an asshole, basically. He was just an asshole.
His rate. He was like,
I know. I'm like, what the
$950 an hour or something like that.
An hour? I don't make that in a month. Like, what are you talking about?
Oh my god!
I was like,
but it's so true. And then he's like, "You're going to have to pay for her." Money. All the money that goes into lawyers, and oh gosh.
I mean, and that was the thing that I was with him about. Like, he was going to split it. He was going to be fair. He tried, I guess. Or his intention was to split everything in half and have 50-50 custody, which he got 45 out of 50, but whatever. Initially, like in a cordial, civilized separation, right?
Yeah.
But then the lawyer and the other lawyer and the other lawyer get involved, and so I was like, what are they doing? But then again, that's how Scarlett discovered things, that she wouldn't have known. But then I'm like, I don't know. This just would have been fun in therapy, but not in a courtroom, And it's it was just embarrassing to hear that. But that's how things go in real life.
Oh yeah, right. True. But what a movie, and my prediction: Oscar for Scarlett, and possible, of course, a nomination for Adam. Laura Dern was nominated for supporting actress for the SAG. Oh, they were all nominated for SAG awards, but I think for the depth that those two actors went through and showed and revealed, hands down, probably one of the best performance I've seen all year in movies. Now, Al Pacino, of course, in Irishman, phenomenal. And Joe Pesci, but that's a whole other conversation.
I did not enjoy that. I did not like The Irishman.
You did?
I did not.
Well, there's a lot of mixed reviews, and that's okay. I honestly had to look up what it was kind of about. I was a little bit thrown off, and then I found out, it's about the union and this and that and the other. I actually had to look up who the Hoffa guy is, and because I didn't grow up during that period. I had no idea.
Right.
But what I really thought was fascinating.
I had heard of Hoffa. It's just that I thought I knew he was a mafioso, and his name was Hoffa. That's as far as I knew.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Right.
it was just too long. It was just like too long to be sitting in the theater.
So long.
3 hours and a half nonstop, and it was very slow.
Did you watch it?
I mean, it would have been
theater?
fine. I watched it in the theater, and I did not know
Oh my God.
how long it was.
No. I think I would have been like, no, I did. I waited until it came out on Netflix because I heard it was 3 hours, and I was like, there's no way.
I did not know.
Oh man.
Yeah. It was like watching Star Wars from beginning to end nonstop. It's like, okay, I'm done.
But what I thought was, if we're gonna talk about it, are we gonna talk about it? No or no? Can I just say one thing?
No, I don't want to.
No, you can't say one thing.
You mean the Irishman?
It's about technology. Yeah, it's about technology.
Oh yeah. Okay,
and
no problem.
about the fact that they can. There's this new thing now. It's VFX. It's new. Martin Scorsese. They've done it for the first time in his movie, and they made the actors young. Through a camera lens. Yeah.
That was
Visual
weird.
effects. Pretty cool. Pretty cool stuff.
I thought it was weird.
I was like, wait a minute, how do these guys look so good? I know that's not makeup. What the heck?
Yeah.
Well,
I was impressed. I was impressed. The first time I saw something that impressed me like that was Forrest Gump. You know, when the presidents were talking, the interaction with Tom Hanks and stuff like that, and camera angles. I thought that was interesting. Now, I do want to say, going back to the marriage story, because we only have like a couple minutes, a few minutes left. I was going to say that I don't know if you've seen this movie. It's from the 70s. It's called Kramer versus Kramer.
Oh, yes. Meryl Streep and Dustin Hoffman. Yes.
Right. So if you have seen Kramer versus Kramer, that's what this movie reminded me of. Because I was like, what movie does this remind me of where there's a child involved?
Yes.
And it was a great performance by both, More Dustin Hoffman. I think it was more about Dustin Hoffman. But because basically Meryl Streep just took off and you don't know what happened, right? What? And so, anyways, but yeah, this
you're exactly right. I agree with you.
I just thought, I'm like, what does this remind me of some other movie? And I'm like, Kramer versus Kramer, which I love. Kramer was like one of those.
Me too. I cried.
Yeah.
One thing I love about you, Victor, is that you love movies that tug at your heart. You know what I mean? Some guys are like, they don't go there. They're like, oh, that's a chick flick. I'm like, excuse me. What do you mean chick flick?
No, honey. It's a great movie.
I love it. It's a great movie.
And I'm not against action movies by any means. Like I enjoy both. I enjoy most genres, but my go-to drama. I don't go for the romantic comedy much anymore, but I do like for the dramas. I do like the dramas and of course comedy and horror movies and all that. But this is my favorite genre, the topic. Or also another movie was great. I don't know if you've seen it. It's on Netflix too. It's with Washington. What's her name? It was a stage play, and I reviewed it. I just forgot the name totally right now. Kerry Washington was in it. Yeah, you have to see it. I just totally forgot, blanked out right now.
Okay. Wait, is this a movie that she's in?
Yeah, it's a movie, and it's based on a Broadway show. Let me look it up right now. Oh my God, I did a show about it. I forgot the title. Embarrassing.
Oh. Okay. So what? Yeah. Give me the title because I would love to watch it. And it's out.
It's a wonderful. You are gonna cry. Yeah. This is gonna be another tearjerker. Hold on a second.
Awesome.
I forgot.
I'm like awesome. Let me get my box of tissues ready. No, I just love movies that make me feel, and I love movies that make me laugh, and I love all movies, action. I love all movies, but for the actor standpoint, gosh, these actors deserve an Oscar, in my opinion. They did their job, and I love the fact that his name's Noah, right? The director and writer. The way that he did that one take with the camera, and just allowed it to play out. And he's like an actor's director, I'm sure that he would be really great to work with from an actor standpoint. And the way he allowed these actors to just explore and go and be there. And I would love to sit in a Q&A for this particular film, and I would love to hear what they would say.
I just saw the title of the show. Sorry to interrupt you, but it's American Son. American Son is the name of the movie.
Okay, I will watch it.
You have got to see it. It's another one, but you want to take a little break from this one, recover from Marriage Story. Before you go see American Son, because American Son is very intense, just as this one.
Really?
Wow. Yeah.
Okay.
But we do have to wrap it up, guys. Sorry. I want to talk more about it. But...
Yeah, I enjoyed it so much. Thank you, listeners, for listening. And if you haven't seen it, please, you have to do yourself some justice. It'll allow yourself to feel all these different types of emotions, and it's a good story. It's a good story. Thank you for listening and having me on your show.
Oh,
thank you. I almost forgot about it too, by the way.
Oh no, I was right. Let me remind her again. No, but I appreciate you calling today, and we'll talk soon off the air.
Thank you so much, Victor. Have a great night. Thank you.
You too. Bye-bye.
Bye.
We are go for liftoff in T-minus 30.
Hit the record button.
That's swell.
See that coming.